what went into starting Derek, and kind of how did you assess his performance?
His performance was earned. He started before, so there's a level of comfortability there. And I think we've got a 5-game week ahead of us, so we kind of wanted to spread the wealth a little bit, but also the first 2 games just being 7 innings kind of altered what we had originally planned a little bit. So it's what we went with, and there was no set amount of time he was going to go. It just wasn't going to be a long outing, but unfortunately, his day set the tone in my mind for what the game was. It was fortunate and unfortunate. It was a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and his first inning was tremendously crisp. Even the balls that were called balls, or pitches that weren't strikes were crisp. He was really good that first inning, and then fell off. Maybe with my message to the team, we were going to use a whole bunch of pitchers. He wasn't convinced he was going out that second inning, but it's not like he wasn't out there competing. It just wasn't a strong inning on his behalf. In high school, and then before his time is done here, he'll have good enough stuff that he can get away with, walking guys. But now that's not the case.
What do you feel led to Cannon having more results these last couple of games?
I think, seeing him in here in the cage, he got here way too early, I can tell you that. He's the first person anywhere even close to this facility. But even in this cage, you see a guy laugh or you see a guy take a swing and you don't want him to slough it off. You want him to treat every, opportunity to swing as an opportunity to compete. But you can't treat one like it's the end of the world and one like it's not a big deal. There's got to be some consistency there. And I think he's fallen into that a little bit. I don't think it's out of the realm of saying, and maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, he is most set to be an everyday player where he can just kind of settle in and relax. But the position he plays and how hard he plays, I think our team will be best served, and eventually he'll be best served by when May and June hopefully rolls around for our program. He'll be a little more fresh, and yet he'll have a lot of those repetitions that have accumulated from lessons learned as a freshman and lessons learned as a sophomore, that not only do you need to be intense and skilled, but you need to be mature. And he's probably one of the most mature kids we have away from the field. I just mean as far as how you handle that level of intensity. Drew Gilbert went through it here, and I said it on the radio. I'd rather have a guy whose fire burns a little too hot, or who it means almost too much to when they're going out there than not enough.
From your vantage point, what kind of went wrong for Matthew Dallas out there today?
Just kind of cutting the baseball a little bit, and it was something that, if you give him enough time, maybe he self-corrects, or in between the last outing and this outing, maybe if he gets some reps on the mound that aren't game-related, he could work through it a little bit, because he kind of picked up where he left off. And I don't mind saying it, baseball's a game where you jinx stuff if you say it out loud. He hadn't given up a hit, if I'm not mistaken. And if you look at the way Coach Anderson has coached guys and the best guys he's coached, they give up hits. That's the cost of doing business when you throw strikes. So I think, it'd be scary if it was a bunch of, or a bad outing, I should say, if it was a bunch of crazy things. But I think it's one minor adjustment in there, and he's back to doing what he was doing. He's pitched in the most intense game we've played in, and he acted like he was a junior when he was out there at the moment. So one minor adjustment, and hopefully back to that same kind of deal.
Part of the season where you're kind of still trying to figure out your pitching rotation, just how nice is it to have a challenging midweek game like Kansas State to give someone an opportunity?
Yeah, any challenge is good. Any challenge is good. It's going to make you better. And that's not just about preparing for league play. It's about why you do this in general. And I feel like our guys put in as much time as anybody. So you need to not only welcome or celebrate challenges, you need to seek them out. But they're everywhere. Every opportunity out here is a challenge. And I go back to my fortunate, unfortunate thing. Even advancing to second base, when a ball doesn't get caught, or the right reaction on a line drive, or sprinting through home plate, communication on defense, throwing strikes at the right time, all those things, those are moments of opportunity. And the scorecard looks nice. The fans, I don't know what their assessment would be. I guess it was a good game because they saw some offense and it was nice weather. Augie Garrido's name behind me. If he was sitting in the stands today and actually watching the game, he would be very, very critical of our team. There was too many mistakes in there, and we just had enough talent to kind of wash over it. But there were too many mistakes embedded in there that were either a little lack of mental focus or lack of hustle, that ain't good. I wouldn't be standing here if my dad wasn't always yelling at me to hustle because I was a crappy player. So if we're worried about anything on Tuesday or Wednesday, or we got 5 games this week, so we've got 5 opportunities to make sure we hustle and make sure you realize you're competing when you get your chance, because we got Backus or whoever. If you don't take advantage of your chance, there's other guys who can pitch or who can play for us out there.
See from Marcus today.
It was nice to be out there, you know. He had a couple different things literally from toe to head, where he'd kind of not been 100%. So whether you guys know it or not, there's been days where we've been eager to get him out there, but it's, you know, we'll say on the shelf, but let's wait till the next day type of thing. So just to get him out there was great. He's really showing bigger and better presence out there each time he gets out there, which I don't know why anyone wouldn't have when you're built like that and you can throw the ball the way that he does. But just repetitions is the key. He's from the north. He's had a couple injuries in his career. You could even throw COVID in there still in the mix. So just keep piling up the repetitions for that kid as it relates to his individual future.
How nice was it to see Hunter draw that at bat that he had? I know you talked about him last night.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a good sign.
That's who he is. I mean, I wouldn't accuse him of being, you know, in here pondering if he's anything else, but he's a fighter. And, you know, Blake Burke has a real classic swing, or a real good looking swing. I mean, everybody's who they are. I mean, Simo's as gifted mentally and physically as anyone. Hunter Ensley's got talent, but he's a fighter. And that at-bat epitomizes what got him in the lineup in the first place when we were looking for somebody. Really, we were looking for somebody who's not afraid of the wall. And so he became our center fielder. And talking about hustling on the bases, he always hustles on the bases. And then at the plate, he's always hit in his life. That's kind of what he was first known for back when he was playing with Blade Tidwell. But everybody at this level, they showed you that, you know, in the 7th inning, everybody at this level can hit a little bit if they're in the lineup, but he's a fighter. And so that's who he is. And I don't know, maybe he had thoughts about other things, but I think all these kids, if they stay true to their roots, and stay true to what kind of got them where they need to be, then they'll be the best version of themselves.
One or two more guys. The outfield continues to change each game. How has this weekend kind of changed your mind on that group?
I think Colby Backus has shown he can base run as well as anybody, just based off today. And I think we're past the point where you use him being comfortable as an excuse. I think we're past the point where it's like, when's the best time to put Robin out there? I think he's an outfielder, infielder. He can do both very well. Bargo is getting into that deal too. So I think you're probably, or it'd be nice to kind of know what's the exact depth chart or order. We don't have that, and I'd rather have it that way. That means you've been recruiting the right guys. It means Q's been getting guys where they need to be in the weight room. Beth, our nutritionist. I'd lose count, but there's 6 or 7 guys out there that are doing very, very well for us. And Reese is the one guy that hasn't done what he's capable of if you look at his summer numbers at the plate. But I think sometimes guys let competition, you know, stress him out a little bit instead of relaxing and playing. The moment he does that, you'll see the numbers improve there offensively. But having said that, he could be a defensive replacement, or you could label him one of the best defenders out of the group.
Expect to use Nate pretty extensively on Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, he was down there today, and I think his role is to, you know, pitch when the game's a little tighter. So there's other guys too, and you know, it's been interesting. Obviously, a couple guys sore. Pitch counts haven't been built up a ton. It is, for me, it's frustrating. It's a little harder when you don't know how many innings the game is exactly. So I would just say that I don't know that I've handled the guys the right way, but you can see that they're getting the repetitions, or they're getting out there a decent amount, and we're still kind of formulating who belongs where. And I think it's a good thing our offense did what they did this weekend, because it allows us to look at these 5 games ahead and feel like we're not going to be putting heavy stress on anybody this early into the season.